Well, hello YouTube community. Today we're going to do a video on my progress of a couple of builds. The two Street Machine group builds, and I'm going to give you a little update on my Nascar group build. And yeah, as you know, the van it's going to take a while. It's a long, drawn out process. There's a lot of customizing going on here, and the Camaro not so much. It's just going to be pretty much basic. It's going to have some nice detail to it, but it's not going to be super fancy. I'm going to show you a couple of products that I've got that I've been using and I seem to enjoy. So without further ado, let's get everything turned around and we'll get into it. Okay folks, first up is the Nascar group build. I've been working on my decals here. That's kind of a tedious process. These decals are by Wetworks. So my first set, I kind of messed them up, and those were the ones that came with the Salvino's kit. I'm trying to think who made those. Anyway, these are pretty much identical to those. So I just got the roll bar out of the roll cage out of the dehydrator, along with the hood. So I got to get that polished up and then the decal put on it. So that's where I'm at. The chassis is painted. I got to get the padding on the roll bars, get the seat painted up and whatever. So we'll get back to this after a while. And I've got the week of the 4th off, so hopefully I will get caught up on some of this, some of these builds, because as of right now I only get out here to the shop on Friday night and Saturday night, and maybe a little bit on Sunday. So I don't really get a lot of time. Every once in a blue moon I will get out here during the week for maybe an hour or so, but I just don't have the time to dedicate to this like I really want to. Okay, let's take a pause and we'll get on to the next one. Alright folks, this is the front tire that's going to go on the Partridge family van, and it is from Iceman, and it's the Cooper Cobra. And I'll show you exactly what that thing looks like. Oh, hang on folks. This is what it looks like when it comes to you. And this is one just like it. I'm going to show y'all how I do my white letters. Now with this tire being gray like that, of course I sand it all down. Not the letters, of course. I get all the little rough spots off, clean it up. And then what I do is I tape everything off and I spray it white first. Well, I shoot a little gray primer on it, then I apply the white, and then I'll apply a couple of coats of clear. And then I use the Tamiya rubber on the back side and the treads. And I have mixed up some craft paint for my airbrush. I just kept mixing it, testing it until I got the shade right. And I will spray that front with the airbrush with the craft paint because it's acrylic. And then I will wait till that dries, come back with a little soap and water. All I do is Dawn dishwashing liquid, and some water and a Q-tip and just rub, barely rub, until the black will come off and leaving the white exposed. And that is how I do that, folks. Now I do have to come back on the back side here and apply. This will be shot with Tamiya, so I'll just set it on its end like this and spray that way. And these are the rims, plus a couple of extras that I got for another kit. Back in the 70s, these were very popular on vans and street rods, street machines, and some were shiny, but the majority of them, they were not extremely shiny. And so that's the look I wanted. I wanted to go with the regular everyday user type look, and that is all clad. I did a gloss black base and shot that at probably 15 psi, and then I came back at 10 psi a little later and sprayed on the polished aluminum. So, and that's what we're at there. And then here's the engine so far. It's got the all clad. The manifold is done all clad. And the transmission and the bell housing is all clad. And it's got a little bit of the Tamiya panel liner as a wash on that and the carburetor. So I still got to drill out the carburetor and run my fuel lines and spark plugs and all that good stuff to it. So there we are on that. Now here's the van. First we're going to look at the interior. This is I told you I had something ordered from Shapeways. This is the Diamond Tuck panel tool that I ordered from Shapeways. It had to be 3D printed. And what it does, also I had to order some, I ordered 2 sets of craft foam from Amazon, the 1mm thick and the 2mm thick. And what you do is you cut you out a sheet slightly bigger than what that is, and you heat it with a heat gun until the edges just start to curl up, and then you press down, press the mold, and as you can see right here, you get your diamond tuck pattern here. There we go. I know it's hard to see with the white, but you get the idea here. And so then I've already got the bed made. And yep. Okay, this is going to be the mattress for it right there. Still got to do a little trimming on it. That's going to be the mattress. And then right down here, I've cut a sheet of this pattern. Like I said, I'm gonna have to completely build an interior for this thing. There we go. I'm gonna have to completely build a whole interior on this joker. So I don't know if I'm gonna have this thing, I don't know if I'm gonna have it curving around like that. I'm still playing with the idea. And then I gotta make a little wall right here I'm gonna make a little cubby entrance right there to the bed. let's see. I've got the rear suspension made, and what I've done was I've used pins. I use pins to hold everything in. So, because I'm going to test this, I'm going to test the lift on it. I made some shackles to jack it up in the air like I want it. So this way I can come back and during my test fitting, if it doesn't look, if it's too tall, I can lower it. If it's not high enough, I can go back and remake some more higher shackles. So there we are on that. And now as for the body, let's see. As you can see here, there's a tail light there, which I don't like that tail light. So I went in here and I filled it in. I did my plastic welding, added a cover to it, filled it all in, smoothed it out, and I'm going to re-drill, put a different set of tail lights in there. And also it had the big gigantic square side marker lights right here. I went ahead and just drilled me a little pilot hole so I would know about where to put them. So I'm going to put me some little round lights instead of those big honking. You had a big honking square one right here and a big honking square one right there, a rectangular one, and I did not like those. So now let's see, I've got the front. I scratch build my fender flares here. I left them a little long right here because once I get the wheels and tires and all on it, I want to see where it sets, because I may come back and add another front spoiler across here depending on the ride height. If it's setting the way I want it to set, then I'll come back and sand some of this down, and I won't need any of this. But and then I've got the back one here made, and all I did on this was I took 20 thousandths styrene. I cut it 3 millimeters wide and glued a spot, let that dry, fold it, glue it, let it dry, glue it, fold it, let it dry, so on and so on until you get it all the way around the contour. And then I take some 60 thousandths styrene and add it right there where the two sections meet. Like right here, I will add a 60 thousandths rod right there and do it the same way. And then I'll come back with my putty and fill in all that, and then just start sanding it down until I get this contour like I like it. And that's all there is to it. Because if you look up in here, you can see that rod. See it right there? Hang on, I'll point it out. You can see the rod right there. This thing ain't wanting to focus for some reason today. All right. Yep. Okay, and that's how I get my fender flares sticking out there. And that's going to look pretty awesome with these big fat meats. By the time I get the big fat meats up in there. Oh, darn it. Come back here. I'm wanting that sucker to sit up in there like so. Yeah, there we go. That's looking more like it. Okay. Now folks, painting this thing is going to be a pill. So what I'm planning on doing is spraying it all black first, like so. I'm going to do the black first, and then I'm going to cut me some just strips, say 1 millimeter thin strips, and then I'm going to lay out all my little patterns there. And then because going back and looking at the partridge bus, there was really no set pattern. You had red on red, you had some panels with a border, some panels without a border, so it's not going to be an exact replica. It's just going to give you an idea of how things, you know, it's going to look similar, but it's not going to be exact. So and now all right, I'm gonna get, oh, I was gonna tell you this too. Okay, I picked up some of this. I'm gonna make pillows and whatnot out of this. This is just modeling clay, and once I get everything formed up, shaped up, whatever, I'll put it in the dehydrator and let it dry and harden up, and then that way, and as far as like a blanket or whatever, I'm just gonna do the same thing that I did with my tarp. Just use like an old napkin, or use an old paper towel or hand towel, and some Mod Podge and water, and then just work on it from there. And I'll get more into that later. So all right folks, she's coming along, but it is a pill, because like I said, this thing has no interior whatsoever, no door panels, nothing. So I'm having to make all that. So all right, I'm going to show you the other street machine, my 70 Camaro, and then we'll get right back on it. All right, hang on. All right folks, we're back, and this is my 70 Camaro. It's the Baldwin Motion Camaro from AMT. Got the body painted, got a bare metal foil it, and I'm going to show you, I ended up ordering a hood, a 3D printed hood, because we've ran into a bunch of problems with this. This is the factory, the kit hood right here. If you can see, there's some extreme ghosting right there. And I sanded it down, and thought I had everything looking good. And then when I applied the paint, it still was bleeding through. So I took her back down, put her in the pond. I even cut me a sheet of 5/1000 styrene and made a cover to go over this right here to hide that ghosting. And then started just add putty and stuff. But this putty can be kind of a pain in the butt because you don't want it to pile up in places and leave little scratches and stuff, and it can be a pain in the butt to work with. So I said, heck, I mean, I can fix it. Don't get me wrong, I can fix it. It's just, I just don't want to put a whole lot of time into this thing, time that I don't have. So I just went ahead and ordered a 3D printed hood. It doesn't look like this. It's got the big scoop up on it. So, but y'all see it when I get it. But anyway, that's what I wanted to show you. If people that are buying these kits right there, that's what you're going to run into. And what it is, it's this brace right there that's running all the way through it. I guess that hot press from the injection molding has left an indentation right there, but it goes all the way across that sucker. And like I said, I've tried sanding it, I've tried puttying it. It's a pill. So anyway, people were asking me what color did I use for this. I'm using Duplicolor, and I prime it and I wet sand it. Yep, I wet sand the primer. I go all the way to 12,000, and then I'll spray the Duplicolor on there. I'll put a very light mist coat on there, and I'll wait till that gases out, and then I'll put one good nice wet coat, and I will let that dry completely. Then I will come back and I will wet sand that, and then I will hit it again with a second coat, and then I'll come back and do the same thing. I will wet sand it first with 600, and then my final I'll do with 12,000, and then I will come back with my second color. Yep, I'm using two different colors of red. This is a Chrysler color. It's an Inferno red, metallic Inferno red. So I use the Ford Toreador red. I use 2 coats of that first, and then I come back and put 2 coats of Inferno red. And like I said, every time I spray a coat, I'll let it dry completely. I'll hit it with the 600 first, and then I'll finish it up with the 12,000. Respray it, hit it with the 600, hit it with the 12,000. Then I will come back with my buffing cloth and use this right here, Meguiar's Mirror Glaze, the Ultra Pro Speed Compound. I just put it on a little towel like so. Just put a little dab on there and rub it with my finger. Just make little circles. That was until I watched the Fred Henry video, or Fred reminded me of this the other Saturday night when he was doing his Camaro, that he used a buffing pad from Dremel. I think it was 423E. But anyway, I went to my Home Depot, they didn't have it. Went to another Home Depot, they didn't have it. Went to Lowe's, they didn't have it. Went to another Lowe's, they didn't have it. Went to Ace Hardware, they didn't have it. So then I went to a Harbor Freight to see if I could find something even similar to it. Nope, they didn't have it. So after sheer aggravation, I had to just come on home, and I just ordered it off of Amazon. So I said, heck with it, folks. I'm tired of going from store to store. So, but looking at this spoiler here, it reminds me that when you spray these things, okay, out of the rattle can, when you first spray them, they're going to fog up and get a real dull color. Do not panic. That is normal. But trust me, by the time you get through wet sanding it, and by the time you get through buffing it, this is what she's going to look like. Okay? That's going to be her. So now, as far as interior goes, hang on just a second. Let me pause you, and I will show you where we're at on the interior. Alright folks, I just paused the dehydrator for a second. I wanted to show you this gold color. Now you can see what I was talking about here. That gold has fogged over. It makes it look real dull. That is normal. Don't panic over that. That'll come out. So anyway, it's gonna have a gold interior. And there's the flocking that I did for the package tray, and I've got the flocking for the carpeted seat, or carpet for the interior there. So alright, now that's where we're sitting so far. Now it is going to have, I am going to combine red with this. It's going to be red and gold. There's going to be parts of the panels that's red, and parts of the seats that's going to be red, and then other parts of it's going to be gold. Alright, I'm going to put her back in there and let her finish drying, folks. So alright folks, if you like what you see, and if you're happy with the job I'm doing, I would greatly appreciate it if you hit the like button. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, and that helps us all grow. And I'm not after monetization or any of that kind of stuff, so I'm just here to make videos to help other people and to share with my friends. So until next time, y'all take care.